Hey safety friends, here's another edition of the safety news for the week of July 20th, 2020. That might be something special, the 20th of 2020. Anyway, I've been seeing a lot on LinkedIn posts and other safety social media spaces about mental health and, of course, the overall theme of mental health as it relates to the pandemic. One thing I've learned is that overall, even in stressful events like this pandemic, globally, most people are going to be okay. That instead of a mental health tsunami, it's more of a ripple in a puddle or in a pond. It's up to us as safety and health professionals to make sure that that's true for our workforce. And we should be using as many of our resources as possible to make that happen. Most companies have what's called an Employee Assistance Program, an EAP. And if you've never heard of it before, make sure to check with somebody in human resources at your organization or other person that administers employee benefits or other programs like that. You likely have access to something like an EAP at your organization. But the problem is, it's not enough to just tell workers, hey, call the EAP. I gave you the 800 number. It's anonymous. A lot of times, it's not that the workers don't believe you, it's that they're just a little hesitant to use something like that that's sponsored, or I put sponsor in air quotes, which you can't see, sponsored by the company. They think that if they call this number, that someone's going to call the office and tell them what they just told the person on the other line. And that's just not the case. So talk to your insurance carrier, talk to your insurance broker, or talk to someone in human resources or otherwise at your organization that usually interfaces with those people and find out about EAP offerings at your company. That's a great first step in getting mental health information to the workforce. Now, it's possible your company may not have an EAP, and that's okay. There's a lot of resources out there. You can also turn to those insurance professionals still, because you may still have access to some resources right now. And the cool thing about COVID is that a lot of companies made some resources free that used to be paid services. So talking to your insurance carrier or broker, and you may have several at your organization. I know with some companies, they have one insurance broker for their employee benefits side of insurance and another insurance broker for their business insurance, like workers' comp and general liability and auto insurance and property insurance, or there may be a different broker for property. Regardless of what that broker represents for your company, they can still get you access to some tools that they may have available for mental health. So just ask. As with anything, just ask. The worst they can say is no. So what? Then that helps you move on to the next resource. Of course, there's also the good old internet. There's a lot of internet resources out there right now for mental health. There's Construction Suicide Prevention Network, which is run by Cal Byer. I'll drop a link to that in my blog post that accompanies this news. There's some free webinars coming out from different resources and some that have been recorded. I'll link you to some. There's a lot of resources out there if you just look. It's surprising what you can find with just a simple search engine search, so get to it. That's the bulk of the safety news I wanted to share with you and the types of things I'd be focusing on if I was preparing for a safety meeting with workers or toolbox talk or other type of quick meeting. I'd be talking about mental health as much as possible, just in little snippets with workers whenever having interactions. But I would also take some time to spend 5, 10, 15 minutes on the topic as well. So, today starts Season 3 of the Safety Justice League. I don't know what that means. It just means we think there's a new vibe or a different vibe going on with the next batch of episodes, so we wanted to make it different. And so it's the start of Season 3. So on this week's podcast, we have an episode where we interview and get coached, which is pretty cool, by Heather Monahan. We have another episode with the full Safety Justice League crew with Michael Bowman, and you'll hear a lot about his story and background. You've probably seen him on LinkedIn. And of course, we have new Social Media Safety Minute from Jason Lucas, a new Snake Bite from Jason Maldonado, and a new Redbeard rant for Saturday. So keep following the podcast. Make sure if you like or don't like what you hear, please leave a review wherever you listen to the podcast so we can hear what you have to say and maybe make some adjustments. If you like what you hear, make sure you like and share. Thanks for listening, and check back next week for some more safety news.